Hi cuties, this is Danielle. Thank you so much for joining us. This is actually just a small preview of our Patreon exclusive episode. You can hear the entire episode starting with a $3 membership on Patreon. See the link in the show notes. Love you, mean it. I am going to tell you a story. This is very close to home. If I was had a my favorite murder story to give them and be like, this is my hometown murder, this is that story. I've been really excited and waiting to do this case and tell you all about it, because the victim in this case is from Minnesota. Mm-hmm. She actually is going to the University of North Dakota where I went to law school. So of course I learned a lot about her. The judge that handled the case came to the law school and spoke. And this is one of those stories that it's the worst part of humanity and is the scariest thing that you can think of happening to someone. It's your worst nightmare. And it's one of those things that I always, just was go ahead. Also, there's very recent updates as of September 2021.
Oh, you last month?
Basically.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
There's updates.
Wow. Okay.
So, trigger warning, this does involve sexual assault, and then there's a brief discussion of child sexual assault. So, I'll try to give warnings a little closer to that, but just be prepared. So, I'm going to tell you about Drew Katrina Shadeen. Have you heard of Drew Shadeen?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know that I remember a lot of details, but yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you.
That name.
She was born September 26, 1981 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then she grew up in Pequot Lakes. I think that's how you say it. It's in Crow Wing County, Minnesota. The population is 2,000 people, so teeny tiny town.
Small.
Mm-hmm. So as a child, she was spontaneous and kind. She was always creating cards and artwork for other people. She loved photography. She was a really talented artist that enjoyed painting and drawing. Her nickname was Doodles.
Cute.
So she graduated from the local high school in 2000, and then she was voted high school homecoming queen her senior year. She's absolutely fucking stunning. Gorgeous. She played basketball, volleyball, and was really skilled at golfing. She did a good job at making people feel comfortable. She brought people together and laughter. Somebody noted at a street dance, she accepted the hand of a man in a wheelchair, and they danced in the street together. She also volunteered with taking underprivileged children bowling. She raised money for organizations like the American Diabetes Association. She helped kindergartners and first graders learn how to read. Oh. Just amazing person.
Yeah.
Her and her older brother were really close, and they actually had friends in common, which I thought, that to me stood out, because usually you're don't talk to my friends, but they shared friends and hung out.
Sweet. Yeah.
So on the first day of 9th grade, when the teacher told her to choose a partner, she selected the girl who had actually recently transferred to the school that no one knew, and took her under her wings, and they became friends for ever. And her friends described her as genuine, down-to-earth, confident, and outgoing. Teachers and students really liked her. She loved to travel and meet people. After high school, she chose to attend the University of North Dakota to study visual arts, and she actually interned through the university's aviation program and really liked the traveling aspect of the program.
Yeah.
She was a part of Gamma Phi Beta sorority, and that's where she worked with the underprivileged teens. Also, just side note, Gamma Phi Beta was actually coined the term sorority. A professor, Dr. Frank Smalley, who was at Syracuse University, that's where the term sorority came from. I didn't go too far into that because it was a rabbit hole, but just put that in mind.
Interesting. I mean, it comes from the Greek, but anyway, continue.
So, she also was working 2 jobs in the sorority and a full-time student. She was really looking forward to a trip in Australia that she had planned for 2004. And she started dating a guy named Chris Lang, and he was really drawn to her smile. And they said that Drew made him feel wonderful about himself, which I love people like that just make you feel good.
Yeah.
So
what everyone needs.
Everybody needs one of those people. Chris told Drew that he loved her. Drew told her friends about him and said, this may be the guy that I want to marry, and then recently introduced him to her parents. I know Megan's already shaking her head. On Saturday, November 22nd, 2003, at about 4 o'clock, Drew is working at Victoria's Secret in the Columbia. Why are you looking like that?
Because it's November 22nd. That's 5 days away from my birthday.
I know. I thought about that when I said
I don't like it when people get murdered around my birthday. I don't like it when people get murdered. Not that I know that she's getting murdered yet, but I feel like this is where this is going. I don't like it when people get murdered around my birthday. Or at all, but especially around my birthday.
Okay. Well, she's working at Victoria's Secret at Columbia Mall. She buys a new purse from Marshall Fields. Do y'all have Marshall Fields?
No, but Atlanta used to. It used to be in Ponce City Market. It was a Marshall. No, that was a Sears Roebuck. Anyway, there used to be a Marshall Fields somewhere here in Atlanta. It's now a building that I don't remember which one, but you've definitely been in it. I know that for sure.
Okay. So Marshall Fields ends up becoming like Macy's. Mm-hmm. And she leaves the mall. She's going to her 1994 Oldsmobile Cutlass. She leaves the mall at about 5 and she's walking. She's on the phone with Chris, her boyfriend. And 4 minutes into the conversation, Chris says that she heard Drew saying, okay. And then the phone goes dead. So he didn't really think about it. He's like, maybe the phone just dropped. She didn't seem to be like really like give any sense of like urgency. And so he didn't think anything of it, which I had that happen the other day. I was leaving Publix and I was on the phone with my mom and it just got cut off for some reason. And I just kept walking. And she's like, oh, you didn't call me back. And I was like, oh, no, I guess the phone just died. So 3 hours later, Chris receives another call from her cell phone. He can only hear static and the sounds of like buttons being pressed. And then that call originates somewhere near Fisher, Minnesota, which is about 30 miles away. But I'll just say that is not unsubstantiated whether or not that call actually took place. The final call from Drew's phone is made at a rest stop near Crookston, Minnesota. I actually have been to Crookston, and when I was in law school, I thought I wanted to do NCAA compliance, so making sure that like schools are following all the rules. And I went and did an internship in Crookston from Grand Forks, so I traveled back and forth. It's like 30 minutes away. So I've been there. Small town, another small town. Yeah. So with the fact that there's like these calls going on, Drew does not also show up at her job at El Rocco nightclub, so everyone's panicked. Thousands of people search for her and they can't locate her. So people know that things are really bad. So Drew's black loafer is found under a bridge leading into Crookston.
Hey cuties, and now it's Megan. Hope you enjoyed that quick little preview. You can catch the rest of this Patreon exclusive at the link in our show notes. Love you, mean it.